Welcome to TipTea Podcast. I'm Robert, and I'll be your host tonight. Joining me is the one and only Layla Ziadich. Hello.
Hey, baby.
I missed you so much. I'm glad you're back.
I'm back, y'all. Thank you, John, for filling in for me, by the way.
He's the best. He's the best. We'll have him back. Joining us tonight is one of St. Louis's influencers, Braden. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Made a quesadilla for dinner, so I'm feeling good.
You know, you can't go wrong with a quesadilla. They're fucking delicious. Yeah. So kind of give us a little bit of info about you, yourself, what you do. I was kind of listening to the other podcast that you were on, and so I didn't realize that you have like a full-time job as well as your Instagram food page that you talk about different STL food sites. So go ahead and just give us a little breakdown.
Yeah. So my name is Braden. My account name is a play on my name, so it's Brad in STL. And so born and raised here in St. Louis, I went to Missouri State for my undergrad. I graduated in teen. I'm currently pursuing my MBA through Lindenwood. I work for an insurance company. I'm not going to say its name, but I do work for an insurance company as a business analyst. And also I've worked on the catastrophe team where I would travel around the country, when there's ice storms, tornadoes, like floods, all that stuff. I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We've been together for 12 years, married for a little over 5. We have a cat. His name's Morty. And yes, it's after Rick and Morty.
Yes. We love.
One day we'll have a Rick. But yeah.
Will you call him Pickle Rick?
Mate, so we actually have a Pickle Rick toy. So it's like one of those like catnip, like I keep wanting to say crack nip, because like when cats have it, it's like they're on crack. Like they go crazy when they have catnip. But we do have a pickle, we call it Pickle Rick for him. Yeah, well, like when we do end up getting a Rick, it'll be like RICH. Like I think that's what my wife said we're gonna spell it some way. I can't remember. But yeah, I digress. So yeah, like I work full time. I am working on my MBA, and then was started out as kind of like a blog to keep track of what I eat, has kind of transformed into this like influencer life here in St. Louis. And so like my account predominantly is around food, because there are 3 things that I think that can unite everybody. It's food, laughter, and music. And so I try to
very
bring that
true.
in. Yeah, it's try to, we can have the most differences in the world, but we can all unite around food to start a discussion. And so that's what I've tried to do with my account, is to just try to bring people in from all over. Like we do live in Missouri. And so try to get not just St. Louis, but get some Missourians in too, so we can have conversations and, hey, you see my food. That's great. Now let's talk about what's going on in some of our communities,
So you said that you were kind of tracking your food, and that's kind of where this all started. Like, why were you tracking your food?
So I have a personal account, and I would go to different places and I would just tag it. And my buddy's dad, he recommended that I would start my own account just for that. And like I would go to a football game, or I would go out to eat, and I'm tagging it, and then it's gone after 24 hours. And he's like, sometimes I'll see something and I like, hey, or he's like, he would talk to his wife like, hey, we should try this. And then he'd go back to my story and it's gone. Or like I would have friends that I wouldn't see for weeks. And then they say, hey, where were you at like 2 Saturdays ago? And I'm like, I have no idea. Like I live life, I live it day by day. I don't I do look forward to big events, but like, I don't know, I make the most out of each day. And so that was kind of like one of the things that like propelled me to like create the account, is to keep track of that. And so they can also go back and look at that, hey, Brad ate at this restaurant, or hey, Brad ate this kind of dish from Ted Drew's, this frozen custard. I need to try this one. And it's just been a great way to connect with other people who are passionate about supporting local businesses here.
No, I love that. And especially now with COVID and everything, like promoting these places is so important, and giving them the attention that they deserve, especially since right now they're kind of struggling. And so, yeah, I mean, I love that. Like, I kind of consider myself a St. Louis foodie, and kind of like you, I keep track of like where I eat, but I have like on my iPhone, I have like a little notes document, and then like I'm kind of OCD, so I like break it down by different food category, and then I have like the places that I've tried that I like. I put those in like different, like Italian, Chinese, Thai, Indian, and then like places that I still need to go and try. I have like a list. But yeah, I mean, I don't think St. Louis gets enough credit for our food scene. I think it's very diverse. And I just think that, you think of food places, you think Chicago, you think New York. And I mean, we have a very, very good food scene.
Yeah, our food scene is extremely underrated. And it's like, during, kind of going back to talking about, well, obviously we're still in the pandemic, like a year later, but like another thing that kind of like when I created the account, I did not see myself as an influencer, because I'm like, I've seen actual influencers in Vegas, and it is as obnoxious as you would picture. Like, not like, I don't want to say obnoxious, because
it is kind of obnoxious, but
right, like legit, like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like when you see them, and I'm like, no, that's not me. And so I was listening to Anthony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential, and I was painting my garage, and I was like, okay, let me try to sound smart when I talk about food. And I'm like trying to talk about food. I have no idea what this kind of cheese is, or I have no idea what this flavor is on the taste palette, and it's supposed to do this and that. I had no idea. But then I was just like, I'm going to be myself. And then I kind of like navigated it to like trying to figure out what restaurants were open, what they were serving, and trying to like share that information. And then I was like, okay, well, let me go to these places and also take photos of the food. And then that's when I learned a lot about lighting, because the best lighting can make the worst meal look phenomenal, and the worst lighting can make the best meal look like crap. And
I didn't even think of that.
It's so, pull up at a drive-through of fast food chain. Has that food ever looked that good?
No.
Because it's like, yeah, because it's like it's all like the photos, like the editing. And the craziest thing is like what people don't understand is like when you support local businesses, there's probably a 90% chance that meal is going to look just as good as it does in a picture, if they have a picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, it actually makes my job a lot easier when I take like a photo of my food before I eat it, because it actually looks good. I've never gone to a fast food chain where I've had something so well, I say never. Okay. There were a few times back in the day, but like I seldomly like have the opportunity to take a photo of a burger. And that's probably why I haven't eaten at a certain fast food. I try not to say names unless they're going to pay me. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest,
get that paycheck.
Yeah. Like, look, like, hey, I'm not going to say I will ever sell out, but look, if there's like a place that rhymes with Snapplebee's that say, hey, we'll give you some money to talk about the food, I may do that. But, hey, I would also go support a local business here in St. Louis and tip extra. I don't even know if I answered your question. I don't even know what the question was. Oh,
no.
Different cuisines, right?
Yeah.
St. Louis food. So this season 2 of the St. Louis food vlog that I'm putting together, I'm going to make it in a way that you can eat around the world in St. Louis.
I love that.
Like because like you're saying, we have so many restaurants here. We have so many. And people are like, oh, you go to all these places. I'm trying to keep up and I'm trying to write them down. I'm like, for dinner today, I was like, I don't even know what I want because there's so many good options. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a quesadilla because I can't think that much tonight.
No, I mean, I think that kind of what you were saying, to me, the food scene is very intimidating. Would you agree, Layla? I mean, you've worked in the food industry, so you're maybe more versed than like a non-food industry person, but and I mean, I've worked in the food industry, but I still kind of think that it is intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mean like less approachable to?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
To people that don't really go out to eat, and then I just feel like the food industry doesn't make it very easy for people to approach food and try different things and explore. It's kind of intimidating, and I do kind of like how Brandon, how you have said you don't know everything about food, and you may not be the most knowledgeable, but you still approach food with an open mind, and then you share this to people. And I love that idea because you're exposing people to different things that they would never try. And like you said, St. Louis is such a diverse place, and we have such a big food scene that if you want to really dive deep into different cultures and stuff, you can totally do that and make it approachable. And so I really I follow you on Instagram, and I do love your posts and all that stuff. And yeah, you make food super approachable, and I think that that's very important.
Thank you. I see it as kind of what you're saying about being approachable. I think that's why so many people are afraid to get out of their comfort zones. And I'm guilty of that too. There are times where I'll go and eat at St. Louis Pizza and Wings once a week or something with my wife, right? And I can't post about that all the time because it's just people be like, oh, he's just eating the same pizza. But it's I want to try something else. But the way I see Instagram is, when you go out to eat, and I guess you could say back in the day before COVID, when you would have a menu, and sometimes there would be a picture on that menu of what that item looked like. And you're like, okay, I got to get that. Mm-hmm. That's what Instagram is now, it's scrolling through and you're just like, oh, okay. And then sometimes I'll make reels if a chef will let me behind the scenes to record a few clips because people kind of want to see how that food is made. And I think it tells more of the story to kind of get the audience in there, or, the customers in there oh, this is how they make a poke from Poke Doke, Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is very intimidating. And I will say, whenever I started this account, there may have been 7 to 10 foodie accounts in St. Louis. And so I was looking at people on the East Coast and West Coast, and in California, Oregon, and Washington, the foodie culture is phenomenal. Yeah. And so when people would say, Brad, you're doing such a great job, I can't do what you do. And I'm like, oh no, I've even gotten to where I want to get with the content. 95% of my content has been photos taken inside my house from takeout. Mm-hmm. But it's since that time, there's been I think there's close to 50 accounts. And I think that's phenomenal. That's a great, that's kind of a great number to have as we move into the future, because the Instagram algorithm will only show your content to maybe about 10% of people. And so the more people that have foodie content, the more it actually helps the small businesses. And so exactly. Someone was like, well, when you're encouraging people to create accounts, aren't you afraid that's going to hurt your account? And I'm like, no, I'm in this for St. Louis. And the more foodie accounts there are, the more it actually helps the city. And I'm like, we don't need 50. We need 100. We need hundreds. If you like food, take a photo of it. You're supporting a small business. And if someone says anything negative about that, they're just a negative person, and they can, I don't know, they can go stand in a corner and you can enjoy your food or something. I don't know.
You could say they could fuck themselves. It's okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to keep it friendly.
Oh no, you don't. You could say whatever you want. No, I agree. I don't think anything should be gatekept necessarily. And yeah, so I mean, I feel like exposing yourself and giving people like your content and then being open for other people to do the exact same. I think that's great. And like you said, it's all for the betterment of our local restaurants, which is what's important. And I agree 110%. I love that. Like whenever I go to somewhere where I feel like the food is phenomenal, I always do like a story. I always tag them. And yeah, I mean, you want to hype them up. You want to expose them because, like you said, like your content's only reaching a small amount of people. But I mean, that 10% that it is reaching, 9 times out of 10, they haven't seen this place. They haven't tried that food. So even if it's a small margin that you are reaching out to, that's still an impact, and that still helps those local restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Well, think of it this way too. Like, there's an account here. I think her name's Rachel. The account is Stand Small STL, and she creates like these amazing. I don't even know what to call like a list of different things. Like one was like coffee shops, right?
I saw that on your page.
I tell you, like that was awesome. That is awesome. She's done a few of them, but like the coffee shops, like okay, if I'm gonna say the word coffee, what is it? And what's the first coffee shop that comes to mind?
I mean, Starbucks or Caldi's. Dunkin'. Oh yeah, you're in Chicago, Layla. So yeah, Dunkin'.
We do the Dunkin' up here.
So I've heard both of those. So like the first one that comes to mind, I'm thinking Starbucks. The next one I'm thinking Dunkin'. The third I'm thinking of. Remember, I don't say any place, any chains. That's the goal. I'm just kidding. So the third one that comes to mind is McDonald's that people will talk about, right? But it's like you go through those drive-throughs, and I'm guilty of going to like a Starbucks, but I can recall being more upset going to Starbucks and then messing up my order than going to a small business. And the small business doesn't even have that long of a wait a lot of times. And you go in, get really good coffee. You can get like a great vibe of a place. Like,
atmosphere.
Like Starbucks, it's like, okay, you're in, you're out. The money's not staying in the local economy. Like, go ask Starbucks to go donate to your school, like a school fundraiser. They're not.
Yeah.
But like that mom and pop will. So it's like having a list like that has been just amazing because it gets me out of even going to the same coffee shops that I typically go. It gets me out across town. And, during the pandemic, that was like a big thing with trying new restaurants is, I'm ordering takeout, but I'm going to different like spots I haven't been in years. And so like really like dining out and just exploring your city. It's vacationing in your own city. Like you go to like, let's say I go to Chicago and I'm walking around the West Loop and I'm like, oh, this place looks cool. This looks cool. And it's like, I can walk around St. Louis and have that same feeling of walking in the Central West. Not the same because Chicago's much larger, but kind of feel the vibe of the area. Like we can do that here.
Yes.
On a consistent basis.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not so much right now because of COVID. And I feel like, oh man, the Central West End was hit so hard with all these restaurants closing. I feel so sad. Like Sub-Zero and like that whole, like all of them, like, because I guess they owned, what's the,
I know what you're talking about.
Whiskey place.
Was it Scottish or something?
No. What is that fucking whiskey place? I'll think of it. But yes, like that whole chain of restaurants like closed, and that's really fucking sad. And it's just like, it's really sad when you walk around that place and like, it used to have all those restaurants and like now they're closed. And I'm sure Layla, the same thing is in Chicago, like all these restaurants that are closing. But
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, the whole, I would say like the whole Chicago, St. Louis, just the service industry in general, not even just restaurants, obviously, but due to what we're talking about, absolutely. Like there have been so many ways that restaurants and their employees have been impacted due to COVID. And yeah, it's just really hard to see like when a community takes a hit like that, especially, since it's such a tight knit community oftentimes. So yeah, for sure.
Since I can cuss on this, it's absolutely bullshit. Like how things in this, like think about fast food chains, right? When has any of them closed down because one employee caught COVID?
Oh yeah.
None. They've been open the entire time and they're coming across so many more people. Also, fast food workers should be getting paid a whole lot more than they are because they're literally, touching credit cards and touching food and around so many people. But
yes.
It's like, the small businesses, like first they didn't have the capital to market that they were open. They didn't have the capital to be able to provide all the PPE and stuff. And then one person gets COVID and they're having to shut down, rightfully taking safety precautions, but it's like, come on, big corporations, take those same safety precautions.
But what you say though, that is really interesting, that made me just think of something, is that we just talked about how restaurants are shutting down because of COVID. But what is really fascinating to me is the opposite, in where restaurants are actually doing, there's a few restaurants that are out there doing better and have like thrived off of COVID and, had to revamp and rework and adapt and overcome and are like thriving. And I love that. Like, I'm trying to think.
Like the concept of 9 Mile Garden, the food truck park.
Yes.
Oh, tell me about that, because I haven't been. So.
Oh, it's so cool.
What's the tea?
I live right by it, but go ahead and explain it.
So this was actually planned before COVID, but they were like bringing in this food truck park to St. Louis because, we have food truck Fridays in Tower Grove, but this is like a food truck. It's now like a food truck park 7 days a week. Like you go there for lunch, there's probably like 3 or 4. You go there for dinner. I mean, there's a bunch, maybe, I don't know, 5 to 8. I'm not sure. But then they have this big 30-foot TV, and it's a great family place to be. Catch up with family, friends. They have a bar on the inside. It's a really cool atmosphere, but it's like one of those things that it would have been popular. But the fact that was like the only thing you could do last fall. Yeah. It really took off. And it's great to see.
It's doing great. And like I saw you post, I haven't tried their food yet, but I really want to. And I actually might go there tomorrow. What's the Japanese sandwich place?
Sando Shack.
Yes. How is that? Like, it looks so fucking good.
It's such a game changer. The sweet and spicy chicken katsu sando. I know it sounds like a long name. Just when you look at their menu and you see sweet and spicy, just like, okay, that's what I got to get. It's so good. And it's like, Amy and Dan are just like really, really nice people. And they're people I've met through Instagram. And it's like when the people behind the product are just really nice and the product is phenomenal. It's like you just want them to succeed, and it's like it was so cool. Like this last Saturday, they were at Urban Chestnut. Like it was the first time they've had their food truck. And so like just seeing them like crowded and like because besides that, they were doing pop-ups around town. Mm-hmm. And just like the fact they have their food truck, it's like it's just great to see good people like just succeed. And it's like
I love it.
They're just getting started too, and it's like it's awesome.
It's good food. It looks fucking delicious. And so the business owner, her name's Amy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that it's female ran, and I love that. I love seeing that. And like you said, when you meet people that are nice, and you're seeing these small businesses. And the thing that I love about the food trucks is that 9 times out of 10, the people that are working the food trucks are like the owners of these restaurants, or, they're the people that are very closely tied into the business are the ones working the food truck and promoting. And I love that. That whole, food truck area that you were talking about, it's so nice, Layla. Like, they have a pavilion that's like a bar, and then like you go down and there's like what is it, like turf, like there's turf, so you can like sit, you can bring like chairs and stuff, and then like he said, like you can put they have this huge TV, so they usually have like a game or something going on, but it is so nice. Like, we went there in the fall time. It's great. And then they have all these food trucks, and they're like a different variety of food. And it's a great concept. And like you said, like, it would be doing great no matter what, but just the fact that this was like just open right before COVID hit is just like, it's really thriving, especially because of, the pandemic and all that shit.
And one of the best parts about it is like, so like my wife and I, we've been together for 12 years, but sometimes we can't agree on a restaurant or like a place to eat. And so it's like, all right, let's go to 9 Mile. And we both literally can find something every single time. Like, she may eat at one food truck and I eat at a different one, but it's like, it's perfect from the couple's perspective,
Speaking of which, I feel like I am like, I know that people have talked that this has been like a thing, but like, so my husband, he'll be like, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, and he'll just start naming all these places. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, you're fucking disgusting. Absolutely not. Nope, we're not doing that. And then like, basically I'm like, but I preface it by saying, oh, whatever. And then he starts listing all these names and I'm like, no. And then he'll say something. So really, I just want him to pick or say what I actually want, but I don't know what I want. And like that, like you said, like that's perfect. Like that place is perfect because you get there's different variety, and I love that.
That what you just said is so real. It's funny. Like literally, I think it was a week and a half ago. Like we had pizza one night, and then the next night, no, I had pizza for some reason, and then the next night she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get pizza, or I'm gonna make pizza," and I was like, "No, I can't do that." Like I literally just had it last night. And I ended up eating it. And so then it comes around to like last night. And she's like, we're running low on food. We need to go to the grocery store. It's like, she was like, okay, I'm going to make some fried rice. And I was like, I think tonight I want some pizza. And like, so anyways, I made the Red Hot Riplets pizza, which is phenomenal. Ate the whole thing. But it's just like funny because like the other night she was like, oh, do you want pizza? And then I was like, no, I don't. But then I ate it. But
wait, I need you to explain this Red Hot Riplets pizza.
Oh, it's so good. So I guess it's Four Hands. They have a bunch of different flavors of pizzas. Like I don't know how this works out. Like I don't know who makes it, what Four Hands has to do with it, but their name's on every single box. And they have like a Sugar Fire barbecue chicken pizza, which is really good. The Red Hot Riplets pizza. It's really good. It's kind of like I think it's like a buffalo chicken almost. So it's fire. And
for our people that don't understand what Red Hot Riplets are, can you like explain that? Because we have some Chicago viewers too. Gotcha.
So the way I would explain it to Chicago viewers is Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. Well, actually, the Saint Lunatics.
I'm like, where is this going?
I'm trying to think because it gets confusing with the different groups because it'll be like Murphy Lee and the Saint Lunatics, but Murphy Lee isn't in the Saint Lunatics, so it's confusing. Nelly's also in the Saint Lunatics, but anyways, like it's the real deal that like Nelly and the Saint Lunatics has a song called Red Hot Riplets. Look it up on Spotify. Just type in Red Hot Riplets. But I think it could be under Murphy Lee's name, featuring Nelly. Like, it's so confusing with those groups. But yeah, and we could talk about St. Lunatics later, how that apparently is over. You know, that's a thing in the past.
R.I.P.
I know. Yeah. You know, it was a good time. But anyways, Red Hot Riplets are just like, they're like these really spicy chips. And I'm not really a spicy person, but these are like, imagine like, Robert,
but they're almost
like
sweet.
A Ruffles, right?
Yeah, they're like a Ruffles, and they're spicy. Like, have you had them, Layla?
No, wait, are these like wrap snacks or is that a completely different vibe?
Oh,
so wrap snacks, that's a whole different thing. But they did,
okay.
But the St. Lunatics did make a song about Hot Riplets. But, but like these chips, like you said, like they're Ruffle style chips. They are like spicy, but they're also like sweet. And like, I can't describe it. Like, you eat one and you're like, okay, this isn't bad. You eat a couple more, you're like, okay, this is spicy. You eat a couple more, and like as you progressively go, it gets more and more spicier. But they're really, I don't know, they're very addicting. They're very addicting.
It's just so good. Like, I made a Red Hot Riplets chili, so I used like their sauce and I used their seasoning and their chips in it. I guess it was like 2 weeks ago whenever it got cold again. And it was so good. It's like you're saying, it's like a little bit spicy, but it also has it's like a sweet flavor too.
Yeah.
It's, gosh. Oh my goodness. Their sauce is so good. Like, their sauce is so good. I literally put it in my scrambled eggs.
So where do you get that sauce?
They sell it at Schnucks.
Okay.
But yeah.
Also, speaking of Schnucks, and spicy chips, have you tried those Billy Goat chips, the kicker chips?
I haven't.
You have, Layla?
No, I haven't. I'm wondering what that is.
So the Billy Goat chips, it is St. Louis style, like St. Louis owned, I believe. And then they make like potato chips, which they are fucking delicious. And they're like salty, but also kind of sweet. But then they also have like these kicker chips, and they're like, they kind of remind me of like Red Hot Riplets, where they're kind of like Ruffle style kind of, but they are fucking delicious. Like, next time you go to Schnucks, they should have them at Schnucks. Look for them, or they're at Whole Foods too, but they are really fucking good.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out at Schnucks because they make it easy.
And they're local. But yeah, they're really, really fucking good. But that just reminded me, because I haven't had like a Red Hot Riblet in a very long time, but I've had those Billy Goat chips, and they kind of remind me of those. And they're like spicy but sweet. They're really fucking good. All right. Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say, and they are really an awesome company. They are very supportive of St. Louis. Old Vienna is Red Hot Riplets.
Yeah.
So like they've been very supportive of me. Sorry, but I'm filling my drink. Like, they've been very supportive of me since I like had like, I don't know, 500 followers. Mm-hmm. They've just been very supportive. They're like, hey, let us know if you ever need anything. And so like for giveaways, they're always, looking to get their name out, and like they're
Layla, maybe we need to do a sponsorship.
We can talk. I can see if I can pull some strings, but like, I mean, they really are just a great company. Them and Happy Apples, that's another company I've partnered with. And, it's like one of those things, like I can just reach out to them like, hey, I'm thinking about donating some food to the homeless. And like, I know it's very odd. You're like, caramel apples, Riplets, and plus like making some other food on the side. But I'm like, to these people that haven't had it before, like this is like, like they may not be able to afford a bag or something, like let's donate it. And like both of those companies, like I mean, Happy Apples, they make caramel apples, just a great company. And Old Vienna, just another great company that I've enjoyed partnering with.
Well, speaking of St. Louis partnerships, I feel like this will be a perfect segue. I made this game for you to play with us tonight, and it is called Smash It or Trash It. So this is going to be, I'm going to say a St. Louis food, or like a type of St. Louis style food. I'm going to describe said food, and then you're going to tell me whether you would smash it or trash it. And Layla, you too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, and this doesn't, and these don't have any specific, well, actually I lie. A couple of them do have like specific niches, but we don't have to like say whether we would bash a restaurant or not, because we won't do that. But the food. Okay. So first food item is toasted ravioli. So toasted ravioli, also known as T-Ravs, is a St. Louis staple. This dish is a typical ravioli that's breaded and deep fried, and then traditionally served with a dipping sauce that's like a marinara meat sauce. Smash it or trash it?
Smash it.
I'm going to say smash it, and I'm also going to tell you something that I'm working on with it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So out of the 366 photos I have posted to my account, not one has been about toasted ravs. And the reason behind that is I'm going to make like micro vlogs. So they're going to be like 30-second vlogs where I literally walk out of a place, take a bite of the toasted rav, say yay or nay. Is this one different than anything else in St. Louis? So that's all been strategically planned. So if someone is, that's like, I don't know, maybe it's breaking news. Maybe they'll show up on, KSDK in the morning on the bottom of the screen. But like, like literally you can look through every single photo. You will not see one toasted rav. You'll barely see any. I think the only Dogtown place you'll see is like Joya's. Is that how you say it? Joya's?
I think so. Yeah. Joya's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love Joya's.
The only one you'll see. And the reason why is because the like Dogtown it's like its own beast.
It is.
So, yeah. But that's funny that you brought that up. So something to look forward to.
Stay tuned. Breaking news. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, and obviously for me, definitely smash some T-Ravs. All right. Frozen custard. Frozen custard is a dessert that is very similar to ice cream, but has a thicker, richer consistency. The most famous frozen custard shop in St. Louis is Ted Drew's, which specializes in frozen custard. The ultimate treat at Ted Drew's is a dessert called a concrete, which is a custard so thick that when turned upside down, it will not fall out of the cup. Smash it or trash it?
You already know. Smash it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say smash it. I used to live right by the Ted Drew's on the south side, and it was very dangerous living right there because I'd walk there a lot.
I'm actually going to say that I'm going to trash it.
Excuse me? All right. Let's hear the rebuttal, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with Ted Drew's. Like, they do. And like, here's the thing. If I'm at a Ted Drew's, I will eat it. And it is good. It's great. But for me, I am not a big frozen custard person. Like I would much rather prefer, like traditional ice cream, like clementines or something like that. But I mean, Ted Drew's isn't bad. Like it's not that they're bad. It's just, I'm not a frozen custard person, but put it in my face. Like I'll eat it. So it's like a smash it, but if there was ice cream next to it, I would trash it. So
Robert, I'm going to go through every one of my Ted Drew's photos to see if you've liked any of them. And if you've liked any of them, I'm going to
post it.
Okay, good.
Here's the thing. It's not that it is, you know, like I said, like I will eat a Ted Drew's frozen custard and I will be happy with it. But if there was like ice cream in somebody else's hand, like I'm going to choose the ice cream before Ted. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I get what you're saying. Like I'm an ice cream enthusiast. Like I love ice cream. People think that, oh, you eat Ted Drew's all the time. I mean, I do, like once a week. But like they don't see the ice cream I eat on the side. Like I'll go get like Blue Bunny, dump in some M&Ms, some Reese's Pieces. Like I love ice cream. Like I love ice cream, frozen custard. But it's like for me, I am so picky that like I love Ted Drew's. Like naturally, I go there at least once a week. But I can tell you who has some of the best toppings around the country that I've had at different frozen custard places. Because like let's say Andy's. Andy's has the best and freshest brownie you can get with any custard. Now, see, I have not had a brownie topping from Andy's, so I'll have to try that. Oh my, it's a life changer. And then like down in like Louisiana, I went to a place called, I think it was like Eskimos or Eskimo Joe's or something, and they literally had the best cookie dough I've ever had in my life. But so, like Ted Drew's. Okay. I have a question. So is Fritz's considered frozen custard? What are they considered?
I think so.
I believe so. Like I have a friend that always tells me about Fritz's. He's like, hey, you need to.
Have you not tried it?
I'm never out too far west. Like,
oh, you need to go. You need to go to Fritz's, and then when you go there, you need to get. They have like a sundae. And you need to get it's like a turtle. It's called the turtle. And Fritz's has the best pecans ever. They are so fucking delicious. They're like so salty and so fucking good.
That's funny because like Nat, like you're saying they have the best pecans. Like that's funny. Like that's a thing that we've noticed as humans to be like, hey, this place has the best pecans, and that's like a topping for the custard. Like that's Speaking of pecans, I'm like totally changing the subject. I truly miss going to events at Enterprise because my wife and I, we would get the roasted pecans and pecans, cashews, and I think almonds. We would get those like every event, whether we were going to a game or concert. I truly miss those. Like best in St. Louis, hands down, at Enterprise Arena.
I haven't had their roasted nuts, but I'm sure they're fucking. I love nuts. So, but yeah, no, I mean, like St. Louis definitely has a ice cream. We do have an ice cream food scene, but for me, like my heart, where I would like, make a, what do they call it? Like, get on my, what do they call that? You know what I'm talking? Get on like my stand. Like if I had one last meal and it was and it had to be like a ice cream, and there's like, Robert, you have to choose. I'm going to choose Clementines. Like I'm a ride or die. Like that gooey butter cake ice cream.
Ooh, that's good. Fire. Was it the Italian cookie? I think it's
oh my God, yes. Okay, so you take the Italian cookie and then you put that with they have like this chocolate ice cream. You put that together. Oh yeah.
So people be like, why are you always driving to get ice cream at Ted Drew's or like Clementines and stuff? I'm like, I literally live walking distance. Or like, a 2-minute drive from these places. Like, how do I not go get them? And they're so good.
It's so good.
Sometimes, God, that gooey butter. Now I'm going to tell my wife to drive me there.
Oh, so good.
I shouldn't be driving right now, So like, I'm like, hey,
can you drive me? Or can you pick up a pint of ice cream? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of gooey butter cake, that is the next food item. So, gooey butter cake, another STL dessert staple. Gooey butter cake is best described as a coffee cake-like dessert with a sweet custard-like top layer that is served with a powdered sugar sprinkle on top. Smash it or trash it?
I'll smash it.
Smash it for sure.
Smash,
For sure.
smash, smash.
Gotta be like the St. Louis style. Like, I know people like to riff a lot and just like make their own iterations, but to be honest, St. Louis style is the best.
Girl, when I tell you that, so my favorite, okay. I love gooey butter cake from Schnucks. Like, they make an excellent gooey butter cake. Mwah, chef's kiss. If I want to get a little more bougie, I love Russell's.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
Their bakery, their gooey butter cake, phenomenal. And then they do like every once in a while, they'll do like a different like flavored gooey butter cake. They have like a chocolate chip gooey butter cake that's so fucking good. But my favorite was this espresso gooey butter cake. Fucking phenomenal. Like the best gooey butter cake I've ever had in my life.
Russell's is by far the best gooey butter cake I've ever had in St. Louis.
So good.
And it's like, I really wasn't a gooey butter cake person until the pandemic. And it was like my wife's birthday, so I got her like a lemon gooey butter cake. And I'm thinking it's going to be like, the lemon flavor is going to be strong. I'm not going to like it. And I was like, I took a bite and it was just like, my eyes rolled. It was so good. And like, that's literally, I get it several times a month now. Like, their best gooey butter cake is their cinnamon gooey butter cake.
I have not had
by
that.
far. Robert, if I go there sometime and they have it, I will I'll message you like, hey, you need to get your
you need to go.
Like,
okay.
It is seriously that damn good. I mean, there was it Park Central Avenue. They have really good gooey butter cake. I'm not going to knock them at all. They have really good gooey butter cake. But what separates Russell's is the crust. The crust at Russell's,
it's
like
so fucking good. Have you had their, so my favorite dessert from Russell's Bakery is it's like a peanut butter cookie and then they dip half of it in chocolate. Have you had that?
I've almost had everything there, but I haven't had that because I've had their cookies, but I haven't had that one. Like,
try it. It's a game changer. It is so fucking good.
I'm like scrolling through my page right now. I'm trying to figure out what this one thing was called. It was a turtle turnover. I mean, gosh,
that place sounds so fucking good.
Oh my! It was like chocolate in the middle. It is by far. Oh my! I don't even like Russell's is by far the. I'm not gonna say the best, but in my opinion, it is my absolute favorite. Like, place for pastries. And like when people ask me like, hey, what's your favorite restaurant in St. Louis? And I always say Russell's. Like,
have you eaten dinner there?
I've eaten dinner there. I've said like for
so good.
It's like you literally can go there by yourself. You can go there like with your husband. You can go there with friends. You can go there with coworkers. And then you can like any time of the day. I go there sometimes just for coffee. I go there other times for like pastries. Sometimes I go for lunch. Sometimes I go for breakfast. Sometimes I go to celebrate an anniversary. Like it's just such a great place. Like,
have you been there, Layla?
No, I haven't.
So write that down for when you come visit
Russell's.
Yes, because it's really. We'll go there. It's so fucking good.
Okay, perfect.
And they have like this. They have this like nice little patio thing. Like, so there's a Russell's on Macklin. And they have like this cute little patio set up. It's like so cute, so romantic. And like you go at night and it's just like the ambiance and atmosphere is so nice. And the food is so fucking delicious.
So good. It is.
All right.
Like I'm there every week.
I have not been there in a while. I've gotten like pastries maybe like a month ago, but I haven't been there for dinner in forever. So I'm going to have to write that down because it's so good. All right. Our next one. Now, this is probably the most iconic St. Louis thing, and that would be St. Louis style pizza. What would STL be without our famous thin style pizza? This pizza is typically a cracker-like thin crust cut into squares, but what makes this STL style is the type of cheese that they use, which is Provel. Provel is a processed cheese product that combines cheddar, Swiss, and provolone with a touch of liquid smoke and has a much stronger flavor than mozzarella when added to pizzas and other food. Smash it or trash it?
Smash it.
You said trash it?
Oh, I said smash it. Sorry.
Oh, smash it? Okay.
I'm going to say, honestly, I love a thin crust.
I love a thin crust, but I'm going to trash
I'm going to trash
Provel.
it.
I'm going to trash Provel.
I'm going to trash Provel just as I did at the beginning of the episode because it's just not for me. Like, I'll take a regular cheese.
I'm not a Provel fan. I love like the thin crust, cracker crust, but to me, like if you were to ask me, what does Provel taste like to you? I would say Provel tastes like if you took plastic and cheese and you melted it together.
Oh my God.
That's what it would be like.
That's what was in my quesadilla. Like, come on. Like, it's so I feel like
you either love it or you hate it.
I agree. Like, so to me, I call it like right there on Hampton from like Target to like Salt and Smoke. Like, there are so many different pizza places right there. But it's like, to me, I think Emo's, once they became this big chain, they kind of ruined the reputation of St. Louis style pizza. And that's probably an unpopular opinion.
No, I agree. I agree.
Like I like their pizza, but I can literally drive 3 blocks further to get St. Louis Pizza and Wings, and it's just I don't know. I love that place, St. Louis Pizza and Wings. If you don't go there for the pizza, go there for their wings. Like their wings, I think we get like some kind of spicy flavored wings. I highly recommend it. Like they've won awards in St. Louis because their wings are so good.
I'll have to try their wings. I actually haven't had their wings, and I do love a good wing.
I have a question for Layla.
Bring it on.
All right. How long have you been in Chicago for?
So I've been here for about 4 years, a little over.
4 years. Okay. So like here you're from St. Louis, right?
Yep.
I am, yes.
Okay. So like here, everyone, if you don't know St. Louis, people are saying, oh, Emo's, like that's the place to go when you go there. And it's like, no, don't go there. So like in Chicago, Illuminati's. Like I've been there several times, but I also feel like there's definitely better pizza in Chicago.
Absolutely. Hands down.
What are some of your top favorite places to eat in Chicago?
Oh, I mean,
or pizza places.
I was going to say, if we were going to talk about food in Chicago, like that would just be all over the map. But definitely, like if somebody's coming to Chicago, I'm definitely going to redirect them. If they're like, oh, I want to do Lou Malnati's or they want to do any of the other deep dish styles, I steer them away by quickly telling them that it takes 45 minutes just to make the pizza. And I'm like, so if you're hungry now, let's just go somewhere much better. And then I bring them to, because literally like that pizza is a pie with just hella tomatoes. It's just not my vibe.
I hate Chicago style pizza.
No one in Chicago eats that. It's like, it's a food that they chose to create as like a, tourist staple. So like any Chicago person will tell you like Pequod's is a vibe. You can go to Peace Pizza. There's a lot of really great local places that are much better. And I would love to give you some recommendations if you're ever coming up here. But yeah, definitely nothing with deep dish. No, not at all. If anything, I go to like Pequod's and order a thin crust square cut pizza. Jet's Pizza as well, which is like a smaller shop, but people love it. And honestly, like if you ask anyone 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you something other than one of the big kind of chain franchise places.
I hate Chicago style.
I know, it's just like
So heavy.
I can only, it's so heavy. Like I'm gonna die. I need to go take a nap right after I eat it. And usually like if you're with, first of all, I would never be caught dead there, like just, on a whim. So like if I'm there with like people that I'm trying to show around town, that's the worst. Cause then you got to keep walking around and you just feel like your body is going to explode. So no, that's like, I would rather have Emo's pizza than to do a Chicago deep dish. That might be a hot take. But it's real.
It's not. I mean, I agree with you. It's not. Like, I agree with you 110%. I do not like Chicago deep style pizza. I feel like it's just so heavy and greasy and like, no. If I had to pick a style of pizza that I could eat every fucking day, it would be New York style.
Oh, like a greasy slice?
Yes.
Just like a big slice?
Like
dollar slice?
Yes. Like, give me a fucking Ninja Turtle pizza. Like, the cheese dripping down. Like, that is my dream.
Robert, you're such a pizza slut. I love it.
However, I do love pizza. I do. Tim likes pizza more. And like, here's the thing, like, I can't eat pizza every single day, but like when I do crave it, like I go all out. And like my favorite St. Louis pizza would have to be Katie's Pizza.
Okay. Yeah. Katie's Pizza. You said that's your favorite?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I've never actually been there, but I've heard really great things, and I think that she's super great for the community. I follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Sorry, we're in Chicago, so you're definitely going to hear sirens in the background.
A couple gunshots.
So I don't know if we're, probably, definitely happening.
We're in St. Louis, so
yeah,
it's the same thing.
So it could have been on your end. I would just live right by the street, so like you definitely hear it, and it always picks up. People probably think I just live in a very questionable area, but like everything is like that in Chicago.
So Brad, have you been to Katie's?
I haven't, but
you got to.
Oh, you got to. You got to.
Yeah, I'll definitely go by there and try. Like, does she have like a few, or can you go like pick up like a single slice, or do you have to get like the whole pizza?
I'm pretty sure you have to get the whole pizza, and they're like pretty individual. Like I could, if I'm hungry, like I could smash a pizza by myself, but they are fucking delicious. When you go there, you have to get the roasted chicken pizza.
Okay.
Fucking phenomenal. And then they always have like a seasonal pizza. They have like a prosciutto, and I forget what else is on it, but it's fucking delicious. Like the ingredients are just very fresh. They're very, you would love it. And Layla, you would love it too. So put that on the list too. We're going there.
Okay, perfect. So I actually have a question for you, Braden. I was wondering where your love from food comes from. Like, did you grow up making food with like a family member, or have you always just been a foodie? Like, where does this all stem from?
That is a good question. I think so. I've always appreciated food, and I think that's such a good question. Like,
thank you.
I would say, yeah, like it's kind of hard because I can't. A lot of people, they'll be like, I was making food with my grandma, my dad, my mom, and so forth, and it's not really like that for me. It's more of I think in 2020, basically, I realized in 2020, like if you follow people online, you realize that people can suck a lot of times. Like,
oh, absolutely.
But then you look at food and you're like, wow, this is very nice. And someone's like a good person's hard work went into it. And like, I think also like just traveling around, and I have eaten at a lot of chains, but then like because a lot of times, like whenever I was traveling, for work, I was in the suburbs. And so what's always in the suburbs? Your same chains. I learned to like, I had a coworker of mine tell me to go out and smell the roses. And I was like, what are you talking about? But like, I didn't realize what he meant is go out and explore the town that you're in. And so I made more of an effort to go to like the mom and pops and doing my homework learning a little bit more about the town, the culture by visiting.
Where did I go from this? Jesus, sorry, that's my phone.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry. I like bumped it.
But yeah, like visiting those mom and pop places, and really it was like amplified during the pandemic, I would say. Like just realizing all of these people's like hard work, their food's made with love. They're doing their best to stay afloat and stay open. I really appreciated them. I admired them more, and I was getting tired of people because at that point all we could do is look at our screens, either talk to people, watch the news, follow on social media, and so it was like food. I found it to be very fascinating, and it's like it's just really cool because you can never learn enough about food. Like, we may think we know every little thing about pizza, and then you realize like all over the world, there are all different kinds of pizzas. And so like with this fascination I have now on food, I realize that it's going to take me places. Like when I go on a trip in a few weeks, like I am going to focus my trip around food.
Yeah.
And it's going to take me to cool places. Like, and no matter where I go the rest of my life, like, food can take me to new places to see new things, and it's like it's always there, and it's amazing. Like I can go to a different country and eat their food. Like I don't know, I don't even know if that makes sense, but it's just
it does.
Food is awesome. It does. Like food is awesome. Same with nature. Like food and nature, it's awesome. But people, like there are a lot of great people, but you don't really see great people that often. But food, I see that fairly often. And great nature, I see that that often as well, if that even makes sense.
No, it does.
Hopefully it did. Okay.
And definitely say it makes sense for sure. And I mean, I get what you mean too. Like, so maybe you didn't grow up like cooking a lot, or your family wasn't like always in the kitchen, but I definitely understand like one of the reasons why I've always loved the hospitality industry in general is how it brings people together. How people from all walks of life, like you mentioned earlier, can come together, sit around a table, enjoying a good meal, and have a connection and, on different levels. So for sure, I get that.
It's the bridge to connections.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like, obviously pre-COVID, let's say you get a promotion. What are you probably going to do? You're going to go out to eat, or you're going to get drinks with your friends. Like, someone's getting married. It's revolved around, what kind of food are they going to have? And someone's having a birthday party, so let's bring a cake. Like food has always been that kind of like that thing that has brought us together.
Yeah.
And I think I've started to realize that more. And I do appreciate and admire those behind all those restaurants. Great question though. That made me think.
No, absolutely. I mean, I've got some more for you. So while I was perusing your Instagram, I'm, very curious. So you do seem to approach food from a very like, fast casual like perspective. Like you go into places where you can grab something really quick. Like, are you interested more in fast casual food, or is like fine dining something that you want to try and like hop into? Like, what is the appeal of one versus the other? Or as you mentioned before, like, you said you live close to a lot of places, so you give them a spotlight. So does it really matter what kind of food it is? I'm just curious about that.
I would definitely be open to dining, or like actually sitting down in a restaurant and dining. Like for the last, I guess, like year, 90% of the photos I've taken have been inside my house. Like wow. I would set up a light, I'm getting takeout, and that was just because of the pandemic. And like now, like my wife and I were vaccinated. And so like, it's making us feel a little bit better about going to different places. And so I also have to be realistic. Like I'm not like a wealthy individual to be able to like showcase all like, fine dining places each night of the week. But I definitely want to like start showcasing some of the nice places in town that, maybe you do want to go and celebrate something versus the fast casual kind of food. So that definitely is something on the horizon. It was just more about us feeling comfortable and, the vaccine and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally get that.
I've got 2 more food items on this smash it or trash it. Okay. So we've got pork steaks. Have you ever had a pork steak?
Okay,
Yes.
so I have never had one.
Okay.
And honestly, it sounds, is it just like a chicken fried steak, but it's just pork?
No.
Or
So a pork steak is a cut of meat from the shoulder of a pig versus a pork chop, which is cut from either like the ribs or the loins. So typically pork steaks are cheaper and they're more flavorful cut of meat. And then they grill it. And then you usually put like a sauce on it, like a barbecue or something like that. But it's like it's a St. Louis style cut. Like if you go other places and you ask for a pork steak, like they're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay.
So Layla,
So I'm out of this. Yeah.
out
So
of this.
I don't have an opinion here. So this is all you guys.
I'm going to say smash it depending on who's making it, because I've had shitty pork steak, but I've also had great pork steak.
So this is kind of like weird. Now I'm thinking about, because everything else I'm like smash it, smash it, smash it. This one I'm kind of like, I'm like you. It depends who makes it, but if it depends on who makes it, do I really like it?
Well,
And
and
I
let's be honest. Like I would rather have a pork chop, if we're being honest. So I'm going to trash it. I take it back. I'm trashing it.
I'm going to, I will say I will trash it, but Beast Barbecue, God, I feel like a salesman. Beast Barbecue by far had the best mouth-watering pork steak sandwich I've ever had in my life. Like it was phenomenal.
Ooh, like a sandwich. Okay, I could fuck with that. It's still trashed, but I will eat it. I will eat it.
That, yeah. So I'm going to say trash, except for that. I'll have to send you that photo. It was by far, I mean, it is phenomenal. That sandwich, but will I go anywhere else and eat it? No. I don't think I will, Huh.
No,
I'm scratching my head.
I feel like you have a very philosophical approach to what you'll smash and pass on, which I can appreciate.
Like you're very thoughtful with it.
Yes.
Whereas I'm like, just trash it. Fuck it. All right. The last item on our smash it or trash it is the St. Paul sandwich. Now, this dish is commonly found in Chinese restaurants across the St. Louis region. The sandwich consists of a fried egg foo young patty on 2 slices of white bread with mayonnaise, lettuce, pickle, and tomato. Most restaurants offer several versions of the egg foo young patty, including vegetable, chicken, beef, pork, and shrimp. Smash it or trash it.
I have never had this, but that sounds amazing.
It's fucking delicious.
So anytime that you put mayo and pickled things, like get a crunchy like texture going, like I'm gonna say smash for sure.
It's a smash.
I haven't had it, but that's going to be on
what?
season 2 of the St. Louis food vlog. I've been holding out. Like I'm like, okay, once I can go someplace, sit down and eat it, I'm going.
But you don't even have to. You don't even have to go and eat it at that place. Like you could get it to go. Like, honey, you're missing out.
I was determined. I was determined to get this on video. That first bite.
I
think that's because like there's a place called Balkan Treat Box, and like just getting.
I'm aware.
I haven't been there. Is it good?
It's hella Bosnian.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm putting that on my list.
I grew up like having Bosnian food. Like a lot of my like best friends were Bosnian, but like when I went to Balkan, I took a bite and the herbs and spices, like it is your taste palates would like they're gonna die and go off to heaven if that's like what you believe in. Like they're going on cloud 9. Like people were asking me, what's my favorite place, and I'm like Russell's. They're like, what was the best meal you've had? And I'm like, I wouldn't even say it was like a meal that I necessarily had because, well, I guess it was a meal for lunch, but like I took a bite of it and it was seriously mesmerizing.
No, my friend recently told me that Balkan is like his top favorite, and I was looking at like I researched it and I looked at the pictures, and like the pictures looked great. don't get me wrong, but like he was saying, like this place is like his top, like his favorite ride or die. And I was like, the pictures look great, but is it like ride or die? So you're saying definitely go there.
Definitely. It is like nothing you would have ever had in your life. It is just something, like I said, the herbs and spices, like it's a true talent to be able to like make someone like stop what they're doing and just think about that bite. And like I did a food vlog on that, and the way I described it, have both of you seen Wreck-It Ralph?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I think it's like, you know, when Ralph gets in the cord and they're going through the cord to go to the different machines or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what came to my mind when I literally took a bite. Like literally just that scene. Imagine your taste, but like it is. I don't even. It's amazing that food can do that to you. Like,
you know what I'm imagining right now? I'm imagining you like trying it. And have you ever seen Ratatouille? When like at the end he finally gets to try his mom's, like basically his mom's ratatouille, like at the restaurant, and he like literally he sees colors, like new colors for the first time, and hears new sounds. It's like all of his senses are heightened. That's what I'm picturing for you.
Yes, that is it. And just the fact that food can do that is just a phenomenal thing. And that's like one of the things I do get a lot of the takeout casual, because we've been in this pandemic, but I miss, just sitting down and getting that first bite of something that just like obviously like bulking, but like more on a consistent basis, where that plate is fresh out of the kitchen, right? You got to wait like 2 minutes before you take a bite, and just having that sensation on your taste buds, like, gosh, now I want bulking again. But
have you been there, Layla?
No, that is absolutely on my list.
So maybe we should wait. Maybe I'll wait until you come to St. Louis, and then we'll try it for the first time together.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, I'll do that.
And every time I brag about a place, sometimes I like really feel like a salesman, but it's like I want people to know there are places that I've been to that I've tried that I have not posted about, because like if obviously it may seem like I'm a very positive person. Oh, this is good. This is delicious. I mean, I am a positive person, but there have been things that I've had that I'm just like, nah, it hasn't made the cut. I can't post that,
Yeah.
But like, gosh, now I really want balking.
Well, in a sense, what you do to it, you're bringing a much more positive spin, I feel like, on reviews. You know how like the Yelp craze happened, obviously, and then it kind of turned into like a negative like Reddit forum, and then that kind of ruined the point of it. I feel like what you're doing is the exact opposite. It's super positive. You don't need to talk about the negatives. You just tell people where to go and like lean in, which I think is really cool.
I appreciate it. I like the way I see it is, I don't want to like say anything bad about Yelpers, because I started Yelp because someone was like, hey, you should also post your photos to Yelp. And I'm like, can I use the same goofy comments or, goofy caption? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do that. But it's like, people will go to a fast food place over and over, even though their order's messed up. Their fries are not cooked all the way, but it's like, they're going to trash a small business and not go back there and deter people from going back there off of one bad experience. Yeah. And it's like, go back there, give them another experience. I've never been one to like just trash somebody or be negative about something. It's like, if you want something to get better, you got to provide constructive criticism. That's how anybody gets better, versus saying, oh, this was trash.
At the end of the day, like, you're putting out there what you like, and it is at the end of the day also subjective, but it's cool. Like, you're giving someone a personal tour of like the city through your perspective, which is awesome.
And you don't have to say like, I like the approach of, you don't necessarily have to say something negative. You just don't have to highlight, like, obviously you're not going to post something if you don't like it, and then you just post the positive, which is great. I'm more on the cusp of just not giving a fuck, but I guess I should. I like your approach. It is very thoughtful, and like you said, you don't know one. You might go to a restaurant and they might have like one bad night, and you would hate to put on like a negative comment somewhere where everybody can see it, and that and that affects them, and that's not how they are usually presented. Maybe it was just a really bad night. So I like how you said that. But oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and it's like we just need more positivity. Like, you know, like I always try to keep it real, but keep it light. You know, and it's just we need more positive people. Like, people need to understand, like, people like myself, Robert, Layla, like, we exist. You know, we can find the positives in things, but also we're real. You know, we know things need work, and it's like we need more of that. Like, more people that are ready to, like, make the difference and help that next generation be able to have their voice.
Even though Gen Z is kind of fucked, but
hey, we were watching 9/11 footage for like 8 years in school, so it's like
we all have our trauma, people. We really do.
Yeah, like 9/11. Like, I mean, okay, never mind. I'm gonna shut up. But it's like we literally.
Where are you going?
we literally every single year. I still remember being in 5th grade, and then every single year they always played that same trauma on TV every single year, and it's like our parents didn't have to grow up watching the same HD version. I say HD version of Pearl Harbor. They didn't have to watch that. We had to watch that.
Yeah.
And now this next generation is dealing with like their own problems and a pandemic, and it's like that's why I think, like, during the pandemic, I saw it more as like it's up to us to try to help them as much as we can, even though they talk. Like, I've listened to a few of your podcasts, even though, you know, Gen Z, they talk their trash on us, you know, adulting and all this and that. Like, you know, we got to look out for them.
Well, their confidence is unmatched. Some would say it's
delusional.
So sometimes, you know, as elders, we must keep it in check.
God, we're fucking elders. Oh, I can't.
Yes, bitch.
I can't.
I'm old now.
I'm an elder. Oh, God.
I mean, we are. Do you know now? People are like, there's this TikTok where it's like, oh, you didn't even, you know, want to check my ID, or like somebody checks your ID, like and it's like, oh, well, your ID starts with 1990 something. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm so triggered. I'm sorry if that was like very rambly of an explanation. No. But do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, no, I guess I'm an elder now. Perfect.
Well, I figure since we are talking about being positive, that the last segment of this episode should be like, we each get, Brad, we usually do we end the episode with like a piping hot recommendation of like something that we recommend, either like a book or a TV show or something. I thought it would be great if we each share a St. Louis restaurant that we want to and Layla, I know you're not here, so you can either highlight like a St. Louis restaurant that you've been to, and I'll let you know if it's closed or not, or you can highlight a Chicago place.
I'll probably just plug a place that I used to work at, but you guys go ahead first.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna switch it from a restaurant, and I'm gonna actually do a coffee shop. I think people should check out Northwest Coffee. It's over in the Central West End. It's Black owned. It's a great atmosphere. Ooh. It's just a great place, and they actually have really good, strong coffee. Like, you'll drink a coffee, you're like, it's not just sugar down or anything. Like, it's real good coffee. But yeah, I think people should check out that when they come to St. Louis. Like I said, it's just a great atmosphere, and it's in the Central West End, so it's a good location to kind of walk around, and you can see the arch if you walk out in the middle of the street. You know, watch out for cars, but you walk in the middle of the street, you see the arch. to your left.
Oh, shit. Look both ways.
Somebody sues us for looking in the street and getting hit by a car because they listen to their podcast.
You allegedly will see the arch. Allegedly.
Oh, shit.
I think like food. Or I was just going to say, food-wise, I feel like I've hyped up a lot of places, but definitely coffee-wise.
Northwest. Okay. Also, speaking of coffee, you went to, I saw that Protagonist place. Did you like that?
Definitely. It's a vibe. It's
Okay.
It's a vibe. I saw a lot of books on the shelves and I thought it was going to be like, old, I don't know. I thought it was going to be fake books, honestly. And then like you start looking, you're like, wait, like Twilight, Harry Potter? And you start seeing books like our generation grew up reading. And I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. But it's a very cool vibe. It's its own vibe. I don't think you can actually match that vibe in St. Louis. Because, Soulard, like you're looking out at old buildings. It's a cool spot. The coffee there is good as well.
And then I guess Layla, you can go next.
All right. So I would be remiss if I did not mention a place that I used to work at, which, might as well talk them up. It's Prosino in St. Charles. Yeah. I mean, I basically call it like my Cheers, not only because I know a lot of people that work there / the chef is a very good friend of mine. But it really is a really dope spot. It's in a great location, like right when you cross the river, like you're right there. It's got indoor, outdoor, and, like, location aside, it's really like some of the most friendly people ever. It's not pretentious, but you're getting really great food. And the chef, who I mentioned, Tony, he and I always used to like have a saying where he's like, it's just food. Like, you don't need to be pretentious about it. Like, so it's a really like welcoming atmosphere, and the food, it just happens to be delicious. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Pasta. Yes, Robert, I've brought you there, haven't I?
Yes, and they have great cocktails too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you can't forget about the bar program. It's like,
yes,
amazing.
And then for me, I would say, I mentioned this earlier in the episode, but Louis, which is a Italian restaurant in Clayton on Demond, serves really fucking delicious Italian cuisine. And they have like handcrafted pizzas. Like if Katie's is number one, definitely. Louis would be a close second. Has really fucking good pizza, and their cocktails are just fucking amazing too. So they will get a shout out.
All right.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, Brandon, do you want to tell our viewers how they can follow you or get the latest news and everything?
Yes, you all can follow me on Instagram. It's at Braden STL. So it's BRADEN STL. On YouTube, I only have one episode right now, but I'm going to drop all the St. Louis food vlogs there within the next month. And it's at St. Louis Food Vlog. And then on Facebook, because, gotta reach that crowd. We have the St. Louis Food Blog. So that one's with a B, blog.
Okay.
But yeah, appreciate you all having me on here.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about food. We love it. And we really appreciate you. And we can't wait to see what stuff you do in the future.
Hey, thanks, Robert. Thanks, Layla. And I'm just getting started.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Tune in for our next episode. Stay safe, wear a mask, and check out your local food scene, whether you're in Chicago, St. Louis, New York, anywhere else. Definitely, not shop local, but eat local.
Yeah, and tell us about your favorite places that you have in your city. If it's not St. Louis or Chicago, tell us where we need to go. I'm going to San Diego in the next week, and I would love to know if anybody has some recommendations. So hit me up.
All right. Bye.
Bye.